You know what I'm saying? Always gotta be something. And we were just talking about that, was it yesterday? I don't know. Didn't I say that? I said it, didn't I? I'm gonna let y'all come back in here. Somebody had a question about hoodoo in the Bible. Put that question back in the comments so I can answer it. It was yesterday, Danielle. It'll be what it's gonna be. We ain't mad. We just restarted. That's all. Thank you, my love. I'm gonna text you back to Kia. I ain't forget about you. Come on in the room. Oh. Okay, period. I think the person was asking, if you are practicing voodoo, do you use verses from the Bible? I think you mean hoodoo. Do you have to use the Bible to practice hoodoo? A friend and I debated about this earlier. You don't have to use it, but it is a tool that was added to the practice of hoodoo because of the fact that we were able, when some of our ancestors went through slavery, you know, they were forced to conform to religion, specifically Christianity. And on Monday, we're actually going to do a lesson on how Christianity and spirituality are very, very similar. That's literally the lesson. I was going to do it today, and I ended up leaving my other phone at home, so I couldn't look at my notes. So Spirit said just do it Monday, so that's fine. So we'll do that Monday, actually. Thank you, Corey. But you don't have to. Our ancestors hid a lot of their magic in the Bible. They knew the power of hoodoo. Is all about using the things that you have to, you know, tap in or to create whatever it is that you're trying to create, right? Or to manifest or to do whatever it is that you're trying to do in the spiritual realm. So that's the use of herbs, that's the use of words, chants, songs, text, your own energy, you know, things of that nature, right? So the Bible is nothing more than a tool, because the actual text from the Bible did not originate in the Bible. It was spiritual texts that, you know, our ancestors had already written, had already put out there, information, knowledge that was already available. And the colonizers came and, you know, started to use that text and rewrite that text in ways that, you know, made them feel better about themselves, and then redistributed it to us through what we now know as the Bible. So most of the Bible is actually spiritual text that was stolen and that was rewritten in a different way. And our ancestors knew that. They understood that. So the text itself already had power. It already had meaning, you know, prior to it being reconstructed into Christian text. So our ancestors did nothing more but repurpose what, you know, was given to them to make it work for them when it came to spell work, or when it came to protection rituals or money rituals or anything else. So the Bible in hoodoo is nothing more than like using peppermint or using sage or using oils, or, you know, whatever the case is. It's the same thing. It's just a tool. So you can use it. You don't have to. It's not mandatory, but you absolutely can use it. Psalms is very popular when it comes to hoodoo. So is Proverbs. But you can use any part of the Bible. Honestly, you can use any text, period, and invoke what you want to invoke, right? But because the Bible is a religious text that is well known, that's usually the one that gets talked about the most. But yeah, you can, whatever you want to do. Do you think some of the characters in the books were extraterrestrial? We're extraterrestrial. So based on that, most of the characters would be. You know what I'm saying? We're not from here. And extraterrestrial are, you know, it just means that they're not from Earth. So we would be under that umbrella, honestly. Are you African American? Do your people come from here? I'm not African American. I am Indigenous American. And yes, my people have been here. Absolutely. Yes. But yeah, the Bible is not mandatory, but it is a tool. You most definitely can use it to, you know, do what you need to do, to invoke whatever energies. Thank you, my love. To invoke whatever, you know, energies you need to, or outcomes you need to. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? What do I mean by that? American Indigenous, meaning this space geographically was already called America before they colonized it. Or Tamari is another word for it, or Turtle Island. There's so many different terms for this geographical location. So yeah, Black American, American Indigenous, however you want to label it, it doesn't matter. But I like to say Indigenous American. That fits who I am. All of my family did not come from slavery, no. All Indigenous Americans were not slaves. Yes, Aboriginal, exactly. I was thinking that because it has been rewritten, that it wasn't really needed. Well, yeah, of course it's been rewritten, it's been doctored up. A lot of words have been changed. The Bible in its original text, even though the text from the Bible has its own placement, right? It has its own place that it came from. You got the emerald tablets. You have different different books that it came from. You know what I'm saying? Things so you're not really from here. Listen, sweetheart, I'm not about to argue with you about who the fuck I am. My ancestors have been here. All right? They were here way before this place was colonized. They have been here, always been here. We don't date back to Africa. We don't date back to none of that. Okay? That's just that on that. If you don't agree, then you don't agree. But you can't tell me my story. That's strange. Okay? Corey, you can go ahead and yeah, I'm not about to go back and forth with him. Yeah, so yeah, you got the holy tablets, you got the emerald tablets. There's a lot of different places that they took you know, the text from the Bible from, right? And they rewrote a lot of it. They added their own shit to a lot of it. You know, a lot of the I gotta mince my words so that they don't put another restriction on my video. But a lot of the S.A, okay, follow my drift, was not in those original texts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that weird shit was not in the original text. A lot of that shit came from the people who put that shit together, because that's some of the principles and some of the things that they were doing. They were doing a lot of that, you know, freaky ass nigga here 69 God type shit. You know what I'm saying? They had nothing to do with us. So it's like a mixture. The Bible that we have now, number one, is not the full text, right? It's only 66 books, and there's way more than that. And then number two, there's a lot of things that were added, and there's a lot of things that were taken out. Even with like the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments come from the 42 laws of Ma'at, which comes from ancient Egypt, right? So it's way more laws than just 10. It's 42, specifically, right? So a lot of the stuff they took out, a lot of the things they added, they put their own little spin on it. Yes, ancient Kemet, exactly. So the Bible is tricky, which is why we only use certain parts of it when it comes to hoodoo. We don't use the full Bible. We use specifically Psalms. We use Proverbs. Some people may use Revelation. It's different parts of the Bible that we will use because those are probably the closest to the original text. But there's a lot of weird things in that book that don't got shit to do with us because it's not our book. That's why I always I don't get thank you Chosen, I don't get upset or I don't feel a certain type of way when palm colored people go hard for Christianity. The only people I look at a little strange that go hard for it is my people, specifically American Indigenous people. I look at y'all a little strange when y'all be out here, Bible thumping, because that's not who you were, that's not who you come from. You know what I'm saying? Those people, they can believe in whatever the fuck they want to believe. They created their own belief system because they didn't like their story. If you tell somebody, hey, you came from a cave and you were constructed by extraterrestrials who were trying to remake me and they failed miserably and the product was you, that's not really a cute story to tell your descendants. You know what I'm saying? That don't make you feel important. That's not, that don't sound fly. That ain't our story. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that story. So they said, well, we're gonna take y'all story and we're gonna add some salt and pepper to it. That's the only thing that they seasoned a little bit. And no tea, no shade. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take y'all story and we're gonna add our own 2 cents, and then we're gonna go out here and we're going to tell his story, right? That this is what actually happened, and then we're gonna force it on everybody. That's why it's so forced, because they had to, try to engrave this mentality into your head. This is who you are. This is where you came from. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. You're not as powerful as we are. All this bullshit. But when you copy and paste, right? When you plagiarize, you forget that there are certain things in there that you didn't change. So when they got in there talking about that man had hair of wool and copper skin, y'all forgot to take that part out. You absolutely are descendants of kings and queens. You better know it. They forgot to take that part out. You know what I'm saying? Certain pieces they hey Christy, certain pieces they didn't take out. It's like, hold up. How the fuck is y'all don't got copper skin? Y'all don't got hair like wool? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Who the fuck could they possibly be talking about right here in this passage here? They didn't cover their bases as much as they should have, and I always say that even though we went through, thank you Corey, even though we went through a mentality, even though we were in a mental war, right, mental warfare, where they tried to take over us, because the only way they could get us was mentally, right? We were way too powerful. And even at one point, we were way too powerful mentally. You know, they don't tell the story about how long it took for us to get to where we are. That shit didn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, oh, we popped up and was like, yeah, this our shit. And then all of y'all just listened. And, you know, it was what it was. And, you know, y'all just accepted defeat. That's not how that shit went. It took them a long ass time. And it took them having help. They had to get help from other people. You know what I'm saying? They had to get help from higher realms, because they couldn't do what they needed to do or what they wanted to do just off their own merit. It wasn't no overnight thing. It wasn't no 100-year thing. It took them a long time. And it actually happened through infiltration. You know, you get a couple people on your side, you get a couple people, you know, they target the weaker minded people, and those people begin to teach them our ways. And then they also had assistance from the people who created them, right? And this is when we get into the story of shit, why is it slipping my mind? What's the what's his name? I'm having a whole brain fart right now. Y'all cool. Thank you, Spirit. This one we get into that story, right? You know, a being or beings trying to replicate who we were and who we are. They wanted their own version of us here on in this realm. You know what I'm saying? And that's where they get the story of Satan and God. And it's, you know, God is the creator of the people or whatever. And then you got Satan, who's trying to get his own band of people to come and do X, Y, and Z and take over, so to speak, right? So the shit is a rabbit hole. The shit is a rabbit hole. No, I don't think I'm familiar with him on YouTube. No, you can inbox me the link though. I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, it's a rabbit hole. It's a lot of information to decipher through. It gets deep, and when you start to do the research and you start to tap in, you really start to see why these people are the way that they are towards us, you know. And not even just because somebody said it over here on Big O, you know, going back to the tribes, right? The different tribes. This is why you have you know, the black Israelites. I can't stand that shit because it's still religious. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are not a religious people. It's a difference between understanding the tribes you come from and then being religious. I can't get behind that shit. Okay, that don't sit right with me. But there are tribes, right? And we would call them ethnicities or nationalities, or, you know, whatever the case is. And we specifically, American Indigenous people, we come from a different tribe. And there's a reason why our specific tribe and bloodline is treated the way that we are. If you think about it, you know, Indigenous Americans are the only ones who get a specific type of treatment out of all of the other melanated people in the diaspora. And it's not just because we, you know, rebuilt the most after slavery. No, we were targeted for a reason. You know, there's a lot. Number one, when we get into ancient artifacts, our ancient artifacts here predate the ones in Africa. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't want to know that. We have pyramids here that predate the ones in Africa. They call them mounds. They don't want to call them pyramids, because if they call that shit a pyramid, you gonna be looking crazy, right? Even when we talk about simple things like Mount Rushmore, number one, was never carved out to represent no presidents. That was a cover-up. Mount Rushmore actually had Egyptian faces on it. Mount Rushmore is located here in America. It's not located in Africa. It's not located in, any of these other places. It's located here on American soil. And there were Egyptian faces carved in the side of that mountain. So them putting the presidents there, all of this stuff was a cover-up. You know what I'm saying? Knocking those things off, and trying to hide that shit. Like, don't look here. There's a reason why a lot of the different places here are blocked off, by the government. You can't go to certain places. Thank you, my love. You can't go to certain places. Yes, go look up Mount Rushmore, and you can see, if you look at it close enough, you can see the face still there, or one of the faces still there. If you look at the pictures, or if you go visit yourself, you can still see it's. They try to cover it up enough, but you can still see it. But yeah, they renamed the pyramids to mounds, to throw you off. But if you look up mounds in North America, it's gonna blow your mind. Okay, you probably got one right down the street in your neighborhood somewhere. And people probably, you don't even know. You drive past it all the time. A lot of these mountains that you think is mountains ain't mountains. A lot of the places that would give you clarity on where we technically are on this land and how ancient this land is blocked off. Is government restricted for a reason. The Statue of Liberty, it still has the slave chains on its feet. Yeah, the Statue of Liberty was given to melanated Americans, for sure. Yep. Exactly. It's mounds all over the place. All over the place. Those are actually pyramids. Look into mud floods, right? Mud floods where they took, dirt and water and created mud, and they purposely put it in different places so that it can harden, and then they can rebuild on top of that. So this is why you have a lot of sinkholes in places, because that shit can't hold. You got whole buildings and different artifacts and things that's under the ground. So it's not just a flat surface. It's not just dirt, and then you go, it's just dirt, and then under there you got the earth's crust and all. Like, no, we're sitting on top of shit right now. We're sitting on top of whole buildings, whole artifacts, all types. Like, literally, houses are built on top of it. Government buildings are built on top of it. It's endless shit built on top of some of these ancient artifacts, these ancient buildings. And this is why we see now a lot, in our neighborhoods, in our cities, in our states, the ground is giving way. Shit is being revealed. It can no longer be what it's been. We're in the age of Aquarius, right? The age of information, the age of technology, the age of originality and uniqueness, right? Innovation, right? So those things can no longer be hidden, right? It popped off with 2020. 2020 is what? Clear sight, 2020 vision, right? We can't ignore what's going on anymore. So you got whole ass sinkholes, and then they look in these holes and they finding cars and buildings and doors and windows and all types of shit, because they didn't mud floods. They didn't flooded it out, put cement on top of it, and they built over it. But over a matter of time, what's on top becomes so heavy that it starts to break through, and you can no longer pretend and hide. So that's why so many distractions. That's why, you know, they've been fucking around with the planes and shit. Because they don't want y'all to travel. They don't want y'all to see places. They don't want y'all to go nowhere. They want to keep you right here in your little bubble, focused on money and cars and clothes and hoes, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be all up in the bullshit, you know, fucking around with Zeus Network and all this low vibrational ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, a lot of things that a lot of people don't like Trump, but a lot of the things he's doing is helping us as melanated people. He just signed a bill, what was it, yesterday or the day before, re-invoking segregation. We've been asking for that for a long time. They tried to convince us back in the day that being segregated was a bad thing. Who the fuck said that? Now they're trying to convince us that it's a bad thing again. The same thing that they did years ago, they're trying to do it again. Now you got all these Democrats, demolized demons coming out trying to tell us, oh, look, it's so racist. It's racist what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? It's bad. He's trying to keep us apart. And he doesn't want us to coexist with our counterparts. Nigga, we should have been apart. What the fuck? Do you know how much further as a people we would have been right now if we would have stayed segregated? Thunder. Thank you. Spirit confirmation. Do you know how far we would be as a people if we would have stayed segregated, stayed in our own little space, in our own lane over here? What the fuck? That man understand that shit. He get it. He's doing a lot of shit that we wanted to be done for a long time. We had people that look like us be in these positions of power and have never done these things for us. Shit, people ask me, well, how do you feel about it? Like it's a point they're trying to make. Oh, y'all was so pressed to vote for Trump. Now look, he's invoking segregation. Bitch, I'm happy. What the fuck? Am I supposed? You thought I was gonna cry? I'm ecstatic. Now we can get somewhere. We are not, I'm not gonna say we're not our ancestors, but we are not them people. The way that they thought 20, 40, 50 years ago, we not them. They was out there marching so that they could sit at a table with somebody the fuck else instead of building their own table. We not them. We gonna build our own tables. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff is happening, and it's all about, again, clear vision, seeing it clearly. You know what I'm saying? See it clearly. See what's really going on and how it's actually confirmation, how it's actually going to benefit us as a people. This is an opportunity for us to have our own spaces. We've been needed our own spaces. And the whole point behind segregation was not for us to be in their spaces because it was something magnificent about being in their spaces. It was because, number one, they understood that these motherfuckers over here, we need everything that they got. We need their ideas. We need their inventions. We need their melanin. We need their energy. We need their thoughts. We need their feelings. We need their emotions. We need their approval. We need their dance moves. We need their food. We need their clothes. We need this. We need that. These are the motherfucking inventors. These are people that's putting shit together. These are people that is lit. And we need to have them in our space. So it was a Uno reverse. It was a trick you out your spot type of thing. If I can convince you that your people is fighting for what I actually want to fight for, then you gonna stand behind it because you feel like you getting something out of it, when in reality you're just doing what I need you to do. That's what that shit was, a power play. You just doing what I need you to do, which is to make room, make space, so that we can continue to eat off of you, because since they got here, they've been eating off of us. Since they got here, everything they got is because of who the fuck we are and all the work that we've been doing. They ain't never established no shit for themselves. Even down to the Constitution. You know who wrote the Constitution for real? You know who wrote up the laws for real? You know who created these cities for real? They're not gonna tell you that. They're gonna make you think that they came over here with all the ideas. Fuck no. Everything was stolen. Not just the land. Not just the land. Everything was stolen. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, my love. Oh, we always inventing things. We always invent things. And every time, if you pay attention, every time we come out with something that's monumental, right? For example, the black men who, you know, figure out how to convert water into create a engine that uses water as energy so that we don't have to use gas. Well, where he at? Where he go? Has anybody seen him? There's another little boy right now who has a black boy who done figured out how to turn plastic into petroleum. And I mean, I might gotta do some spell work behind closed doors to keep him safe. Who created math? Who created science? Who created astrology? All of this shit was already established before these people got here. All they did was steal it, take it, and put their name on it. You know? So we not... Segregation is the last thing that's going to make me feel some type of way. If anything, that's a win in my book. That's the first step to us being able to create our own spaces. And even somebody brought up Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street is thank you, numerology as well. Black Wall Street is a perfect example. We were thriving almost immediately. Our cities, we had whole cities. Go look up what Central Park in New York was before it was a park. Go look up in DC what those areas were before they were statues and artifacts and all types of shit. The damn Pentagon and all them other places. Go look up what that was at first. Go look up what some of these beltways were. We don't have all these beltways because they care about us traveling. Those were whole ass cities. Black cities. Whole established black cities that were either burned down, they turned into water, lakes. So we've been here before. Been there, done that. It was never that we couldn't do it. It was that every time that we did do it, them motherfuckers got mad because we made the separation. And without us, they can't thrive. They can't fucking thrive. These are the same people who got beef with the sun. How they gonna thrive without you and you are the sun? Your melanin is condensed sunlight. They need you like they need the sun. So of course. That's why we say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Because the same people that sold us the fuck out, and everybody be talking about the Moors. Well, if you go do your motherfucking studies on the Moors, you won't be so proud to claim them. I tell you that much. Start looking at them a little different. Because how the fuck you think these people didn't learn as much as they didn't motherfucking learn? Who you think taught them all that shit? Gave them a whole motherfucking one-on-one course on our goddamn business. Why you think that the Moors in right now in this day and age have government protection? You gotta start asking questions. If they don't fuck with us, You know what I'm saying? If they don't want us to have any types of you know, stability, any types of protection, any types of governmental you know, protection or knowledge, or why are the Moors so protected? You can't fuck with them. That's like a cheat code. That's like a get out of jail free code. Police can't fuck with them. Very little government establishments, programs, groups can fuck with the Moors. They are written. They got a whole treaty. You gotta ask yourself, why the fuck do they got a treaty? This is our land. This all our shit. Why the fuck do they got a treaty with the government? Why are they so protected by the government, and the government don't fuck with us right now to this day? But this specific group of niggas got protection. You gotta ask yourself questions. I keep telling y'all, it's the simple questions that lead to an awakening. It's the simple things. It's not all of the extra, you know, what's the value of X? That's not gonna help you do shit. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna help you do a goddamn thing. Ask some simple ass questions. The basics. Where the fuck is the slave ships? I said this before. How we got a whole Tyrannosaurus, fucking pterodactyl, from wing to wing, head to toe, bone for bone. They got his collarbone. They got his tailbone. They got his jawbone. They got all his teeth. They got his wing bones. They got every bone in his spine. And then got the motherfucker strung up in the museum like it's just, you know, like... But we can't get no, we don't got no slave ships. Ain't nobody confused about that. Where the fuck is the slave ships? And that shit wasn't that long ago. Compared to what they told us about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs was how motherfucking long ago according to his story? How the fuck you got a whole ass dinosaur in there and y'all finding all these, I mean, perfectly preserved animals? I'm perfectly preserved. They ain't missed a bone yet. Perfectly preserved. Where the fuck is the ships that y'all claim that y'all brought us over here on? Where's the pictures? Y'all got pictures of all types of other shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got pictures of Caucasian people coming over here on boats. Go look that shit up. Every time you look up slaves coming to America on boats, it's always a drawing or a painting or some type of AI generated photo. It's never anything real. It's no real pictures. And they're gonna try to tell you was no cameras back then. We weren't taking no pictures back then. Wasn't no cameras. But how the fuck do y'all got pictures of Caucasian people on boats coming over here during the Great Migration? That was around the same fucking time. I mean, crispy pictures. And they just on a boat. Just waiting and ready. They switched our stories. We didn't have to be on no fucking boats. Am I saying that they were not taking people from different places and putting them in other places? That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that the numbers don't make no motherfucking sense. The numbers don't make no fucking sense. You trying to convince me that y'all brought millions of people over here on boats? On boats? Do you know the distance on a boat from Africa to America with the quality of boats that y'all had back then? And you want to convince me there was millions of people that y'all did that shit with? We was stacked on top of each other like sardines. We was chained to each other, hundreds at a time, for 5 to 6 months to sometimes 8-month journeys on water. And mostly everybody survived. Nobody was sick. Nobody perished because they couldn't eat properly. Were you given bathroom breaks? Because y'all told us that we was urinating on each other and defecating on each other. Do you know the diseases that you can get and the illnesses and the bacterial infections because you got open wounds? And then you telling me somebody also urinated by my open cut? And we all survived enough to make it over here and still be in perfect health to pick cotton and stand in the sun for hours and hours at a time? What in the mother... Basic common sense can debunk all of that. That is basic common sense. That don't make no motherfucking sense. These are the same people that came over here and was giving us the diseases that they brought from wherever the fuck they came from. And a lot of our people passed away from them just being around us because they believed at one point, and you can go look this shit up, they believed that the dirtier you were, the wealthier you were. So they was over there in fucking Europe just not washing their ass. They believed in filth. And then had the nerve to name some shit the Black Plague. You mean the White Plague? Who the fuck is you trying to play with? Go look that shit up. Go look up European culture back then. And how they believed in being dirty. Why do you think they say you'll fuck around and throw the baby out with the bath water? You know where that saying came from? Because all of them would take a bath in the same fucking water. It'll start with the oldest person in the family, usually the father. Everybody wash their ass in the same pot of water. And then the baby is last. So they basically saying the water be so fucking dirty, you fuck around and forget the baby is in there and throw the baby out with the bath water. These terms had meaning. Because they was nasty. And they still having debates on not washing their legs and their arms and not using a washcloth or a rag, as we said in the black community. Put a rag to that ass. You know what I'm saying? They still over there having talk shows on motherfucking podcast mics. Talking about who washes their legs. I worked in Virginia as an elementary school teacher. Okay? I worked in Virginia as an elementary school teacher. This was 2019. 2018 and 2019. I had a lot of palm-colored students. Do you not know that they have bath days? I didn't know what the fuck that was. I had no idea what a bath day was. I never heard of it. In my whole black ass life, I've never in my life heard of a bath day. I can't tell you what a bath day is. I had one of my students had to tell me, Miss Monroe, no, we take baths on certain days of the week. I said, huh? Yeah, we take baths every Monday and Thursday or something. I said, you do what now, sweetheart? You do what? Yeah. I didn't know what to say. My coworkers just looking at me laughing because they have been in the education system in that particular area, and it was in the area that I worked in was a very high profile, very wealthy Caucasian area. Doctors and lawyers and scientists had birthdays. Government officials. I said, you need to clean and wash little Jack ass. Do you hear me? Don't send little Jack back in this goddamn classroom until you put some soap and water on that boy butt. The hell? What is going on with y'all? Are y'all cool? Is y'all okay? What the fuck is a birthday? In a black household? You tell your mama you don't want to take no bath. You want this belt to your ass. I know you better get in that water. What you mean you don't want to take no goddamn bath? You got 2 seconds to start that goddamn shower up before I'm on you. By the time I get up, your ass better be in that damn water. We don't play that. In a black household, you could take a shower or a bath at 8 a.m. And if at some point you become funky throughout the day, you best believe you getting back in that goddamn water. And if I gotta come in there and wash your ass for you, I'm gonna do it, because you're not gonna be around me smelling funky. And I'm going to take every piece of this Vaseline, baby powder, baby oil, whatever, and I'm going to lather your ass up. You want to go to bed sticky. I do this shit now. When I get out the shower, I take that shea butter and I lay it on so goddamn thick. My damn sheets, I can't sleep in white sheets because they be done turned fucking yellow and orange within a couple days, because all the damn shea butter is rubbing off my damn skin. It's all on my goddamn blankets and sheets and shit. Oh, we don't play that. Don't let your face be crusty. Don't let them lips be crusty. They gonna take some Aquaphor or some Vaseline before you go to school, and they just gonna disrespect the fuck out your face. They don't care. It can go in your nose. It can go in your eyes. We don't give a damn. You're going to go to school looking like a honey bun. You're going to be so goddamn shiny. You're like a fucking honey bun. The skin going to be moisturized and the motherfucker. You're going to smell like something. And once you get a certain age, oh, we putting that deodorant on you. You could be 5. You could be 6 years old in the black community. Lift up your arms. Put them arms up. They do it hard. Why black parents do everything so aggressive? Like they trying to put it in the skin. It's like, relax. Shit. Don't let them smell the faintest scent of musk. Lift them arms up. They're not playing that shit. You're not gonna be around me smell like onions. Absolutely not. And they even spritz a little something on you. We smell, listen. Especially black Americans. I can't speak for no other group in the diaspora. But one thing about it, they can't say we funky. We don't even play funk. We don't even play like that. As a people, we are not known to be funky. You have some funky individuals, because they just live their life however the fuck they live their life. But as a collective, we have never been known for funk. If anything, we known to be smelling good all the time. And you can take the biggest black person you ever met, they not gonna be funky. I be watching my 600-pound life. I love my 600-pound life. I be watching my 600-pound life, and every time you get to a black person, you got somebody scrubbing their ass. They be big as hell. Can't move, can't walk. All they can do is eat. But somebody's taking soap and water to that ass. I've never not seen them washing their ass. I'm just saying, it's a cultural thing. They be having that thing of water and soap in it, and they be lifting up all them damn rope. They be scrubbing them motherfuckers. And them people be big. But that ass be clean. Listen, every nook and cranny. Every nook and cranny, they be in there scrub-a-dub-dub. And they gonna sit there and they gonna eat, you know, a breakfast to feed 5 by themselves. But they gonna do it with a clean butt. They gonna do it with a clean butt. I'm just saying. We not known for funk. We don't even play like that. We don't even play like that. Black people, you listen. You can't come around us funky. You can't come around us ashy. Lips can't be chapped, because we gonna check you. You represent us. What is going on with your elbows? We even got little sayings. Was you playing the flower today? When they hit you was you playing the flower, you know you need to locate some lotion immediately. Was you playing the flower? Is you okay? Is you going through something? Go get that, and don't let it be a grandma. Go get that lotion out my bathroom or out my room. Go hand me that Vaseline. To the point where if you give black people too much lotion, we gonna offer it to somebody else. Hey, I got too much. Take some of this. And we all gonna be greasy. We share. We don't waste. We don't waste no lotion, baby. We'll keep it until the last we'll keep that shit. We don't play that. Take some of this off my hands. Head gotta be done. You gotta do something with that head. You can't walk out of the house with nothing done to your head. They do something to that head. Put a hat on or something. You look like something. And it don't. A lot of the times they try to make it seem like, oh, it just has something to do with us being ostracized in Caucasian spaces because of our hair and stuff. No, because if you wear your hair in its natural state, to me, your hair is done. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. But we've always been the people that took pride in the way that we presented ourselves. Always. Our ancestors was already wearing gold chains and gold grills. Grills is not no new thing. Having gold teeth ain't no new thing. Our people been on that shit. They been doing that. We talking about before slavery. They been doing that. They been rocking gold chains and gold earrings and piercings and all type of shit. We been off that. Wearing nice ass outfits. Look at the fucking pictures of our people before slavery. Because there's pictures of them. Indigenous Americans. Go look that shit up. Black Indigenous Americans. Look at the pictures. They got that shit on. We've been wearing our nails long. So they be trying to make it seem like, oh, that's ghetto. No, it's not. Women been doing long nails. Makeup, that's not new. We wasn't wearing it as much as we are now. And we damn sure wasn't wearing it with all them chemicals in it. But putting a little tint on your lips, putting a little eyeshadow, eyeliner, that's not new shit. Look at the Egyptians. The Egyptians coined eyeliner. Even the men was wearing eyeliner. Because it had meaning. It wasn't just being done just to be done. And it wasn't for nobody else. It had meaning. Tattoos. We've been doing tattoos. We've been doing that shit. That's not nothing new. Nothing is new under the sun. Our people been saying that for how long? Nothing is new under the sun. Thank you, love. Nothing. All this shit, we've been doing all of this. Y'all hear that rain? Well, I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. I just hope it keep raining just like that. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I figured it was gonna rain because it's been warm all week. And you know, they can't never let us have no warmth without no damn rain. But we need this rain so our plants can start their growing process. It is spring equinox, so we kicking off the spring with some showers to bring our flowers. Okay, period. I love the sun now. But yeah, we're not necessarily going backwards right now. We're moving forward. We're upgrading where we once were. But before we can do that, we have to get reestablished and, you know, come into understanding and get educated on who we once were. So, you know, especially for my indigenous Americans, right? My people with indigenous ancestry here in America, aka Black Americans. We have to start going back to our old practices. We have to get educated on who we are as a people before we can even move on. That's why we're stuck in such a fucked up position, because a lot of people, you know, a lot of us want to tap into our roots, but then they go to African practices and shit. That's not where you come from. So it don't last. It don't feel organic. You know what I'm saying? It should be intuitive. It should be 100% intuitive when you are moving through spirituality. When you're where you're supposed to be, your intuition should align directly with whatever that practice is, whatever that belief is. It should align directly with that. This is why when we start to practice hoodoo, it just makes sense. It makes sense. It just flows. It's like you do shit and then you get the confirmation that that's hoodoo later on. Or you do shit and then you get the confirmation that that's something that we used to practice later on. But it's so instinctual that you just do it. You know what I'm saying? You just know to do it. You just know to practice certain things. You just know to, you know, do certain rituals. Like it's just like a way of life. And it's things that we've already been doing. That's the thing about hoodoo for us. A lot of it is passed down practices that have just taken on the title of Christian practices or religion practices, and that's where it gets confusing, right? And that's why we're going to touch on Monday. I'm going to break down the similarities between Christianity and spirituality or hoodoo, because there's so many similarities that we completely just ignore, or I'm not gonna say we ignore, that we just don't know about, that we just don't know to recognize. And the more you start to understand how similar it is, the more comfortable you can be in moving forward in that practice. Because a lot of times, especially when you're first leaving Christianity, when you're first leaving organized religion, you kind of feel, I don't want to say you feel bad, but you feel weird tapping into certain spiritual things, right? Because it goes against the principles that you were taught. It goes against the foundational beliefs of your bloodline, right? And it's like, ooh, am I gonna go to hell? You know what I'm saying? Is this actually what I should be doing? You know, should I, you know, can I be open with this? A lot of it is very private in the beginning because you feel like, damn, like, You know, I don't know if people are going to, you know, receive this, or I don't know if I should be doing this, or, you know, like just different shit. Like, you just don't know. So you just feel so like, ugh, I don't know. Like, I feel called to this, right? I feel like I'm being led in this direction, but it's like this inner conflict, this inner battle where you're trying to make it make sense, right? Where you're trying to basically give yourself permission to move forward with that thing. And it's usually because we don't know the similarities between the two. We don't see how the two really piggyback off of each other, and how spirituality is the first technical religion, right? But spirituality isn't religion. You know, religion is focused on pointing you and your attention and your power and giving it to something outside of yourself, whereas spirituality is teaching you that you are the power. You have always been the power. You are the end all be all. Everything happens through you, because of you, for you, by you. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hard concept within itself to tap into when you're coming from organized religion, because you've been told your whole life that you don't have no power without this person or this being outside of yourself. Happy New Year, everybody. You know what I'm saying? You're taught like you have to have this being or have a relationship with this being in order for you to have power. You have to be in connection or relationship with this being in order for things to happen in your life. If this being doesn't want you to do this, then you can't do it. If this being doesn't want you to go this place, then you can't go this place. It's all about seeking permission from somebody outside of yourself, whereas spirituality teaches you, number one, intuition, and that intuition is coming from higher self. Higher self is who? Is you, right? Thank you, Corey. So you never needed to outsource for anything, and this is why Christians have such a hard time with us as spiritual beings, because we are basically completely dismissing the importance of what they've built their belief system on entirely, you know, and it comes across as disrespect. How can you call yourself God? It's like, what do you mean? Even your Bible says that I'm God. That's why I say most Christians don't read their Bible, and that's another story. But if you read their Bible, it calls you a God. There's scriptures in there that literally refer to you as a God. You know? So it's like it's one of them things, and it takes a strong person, you know, especially in this day and age, to be able to move away from organized religion. That's why I'm proud of anybody who has been able to make that transition. Even if you're still struggling with the transition, the fact that you're giving yourself permission to even start that process, it takes a strong person to be able to even do that. Because, you know, they have been taught to ostracize and to degrade, in so many words, and to be negative towards those people who do start to break away from that type of mentality. You know, that's what's taught. Thank you, Bruce. You know, and especially when it's people who you come from, your family, your bloodline, it's all intertwined in a lot of that. You know, a lot of us come from very religious households, and you know, it's unfortunate because, again, we'll break it all down and get into the specifics on Monday, but when you do start to break it down, you know, I had to have this conversation with my mother. And for those who don't know, my mother is a pastor. Her mother is a pastor. I grew up in church, in a Pentecostal church, my whole life, right? That's all I knew for a very long time. And when I started to, you know, leave organized religion, I had to have a lot of I'm sweating. I had to have a lot of conversations with my mom about the similarities. Because I'm like, girl, you trying to make me feel bad for doing something that you doing. Hello, my love. You know what I'm saying? You doing the same shit I'm doing. You just doing it in a different way, or calling on a different person, or using different words. It's the same shit. Like, what the fuck? You mad at me because I'm over here making oils with herbs in it. Well, what the fuck is anointing oil? Ain't that oil with herbs in it? You mad at me because I'm doing candle magic. Well, why the fuck do you light a candle every time you pray? What the fuck is the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many similarities in the two practices that, you know, I had to just start breaking certain shit down. You know, y'all, you want to say crystals are a negative thing, but there's crystals in your Bible. And in the Bible, it states that they use the crystals for the properties that they carry, which is the same thing I'm doing. Or you try to say something to me, thank you for the gifts. You trying to say something to me about crystals and you got diamonds in your ear. You got diamond earrings in right now. That's a crystal, Bookie Butt. I don't know what. Do y'all know what a crystal is? You got diamonds on the neck, diamonds on the grills, diamond bracelets and shit, and so you know diamonds do have properties as well. Diamonds do carry properties. That's why we started to put diamonds. Again, that's another ancient thing. That's why we started putting diamonds in different places on our bodies, because we understood the properties of diamonds. That's why we put gold around our neck, because we understood that gold had a property. I said, okay. Just say you don't know. Just say you don't know. And that's one thing, you know, Christians like to do. They want to act like they know everything. And because this book tells them something, so then they go out here and they be like, this is what it is, because I read the book. It's like, you don't fucking know nothing. You don't fucking know nothing. And how the hell can I even follow the words of somebody who don't even got the full story? You only got 66 books out of hundreds. You only got 66, and I'm supposed to hang my hat here and listen to everything you saying, and you don't even got the full context. Child. And didn't Jesus come to do away with religion? Wasn't that his whole point? That's the part I really don't be understanding. Didn't he come and tell y'all, fuck the priests, fuck the pastors, fuck all these people, fuck the churches and the temples? You can access God directly through your being. Ain't that what he said? I'm paraphrasing, but ain't that what he said? So it's like, even if you was truly a follower of Christ, you wouldn't be religious, because Jesus wasn't religious. Y'all doing everything that he told y'all not to do. If anything, y'all niggas is hard-headed. The man came and said fuck religion, and then y'all made a religion out of the man. That's listen, if that ain't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I don't know what the hell is. If that don't make sense, I said that man is turning in his tombstone. Y'all are a disappointment. Child. They did the whole opposite of what he said. They ain't listen to shit that man said. They hard-headed. And then you want to beat people up over you not listening. And throw the Bible at people over you not listening. Jesus came to undo all of the things that was in the Old Testament. So the Old Testament is null and void. Okay, so why the fuck is you still speaking and treating people like the Old Testament? I'm so confused. I've Absolutely, he practiced magic and necromancy. He put a man ear back on. He went and got fucking dirt and what he put on his eye so the man could see. If that ain't spell work. That's why I always say, if Jesus was to come back right now and do all the things that he did in that Bible, or that was said that he did in that Bible, they would call him a warlock. They wouldn't be all, oh, the Lord is back, and on their knees and bowing and shit. Y'all would call that man a warlock and a witch. Y'all would say that he's Satan's spawn. Because he doing all the shit that we as spiritual people do right now. We heal with our hands. We use herbs. You know what I'm saying? We speak things and they happen. Yeah, he brought Lazarus back from the dead and shit. Imagine a man come and bring somebody back from the dead in front of a church. Man, they gonna try to listen. They gonna try to pray that man. They gonna jump his ass. That's why their leadership wanted him to die, because he was revealing their secrets. Absolutely. That's why I always say the story of Jesus, if anything, is the story of the melanated collective. We descended from heaven, right? In a physical form, right? Doing all these different acts. When he passed away, he was how old? 33. How many vertebrae you got? 33. That equals your what? Your kundalini energy, aka your pineal gland, aka the serpent energy. That's why they use the serpent in the beginning of the Bible to demonize the fucking serpent. You know? Come on now. Heavy on the Salem witch trials. And a lot of people don't know that the Salem witch trials was really against melanated women who were healers. If you don't like how I talk, you don't have to watch it. That's the beautiful thing about free will. You can choose to not be here. I'm not going to change how I talk, though. That's crazy. Yes, medicine women. They call them witch doctors, healers, shamans. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you look at some of the modern things that they use now, and you look into the story of the history, like dog muzzles. When they put the muzzles on them dogs, they was using that on humans. And they would put spikes on the inside of the muzzle and put it in women's mouths, because we were cursing their ass. We was talking that shit, cursing they motherfucking asses. They was trying to fuck with us. So they created these muzzles with these needle-like things on it. So it went in the mouth so that you couldn't move your tongue. And if you did, it would cut you. We was on their ass. I think that Jesus was a medicine person and it was a witch trial. I could see that. I could definitely see that. I'm not going to say I don't believe that Jesus or the Christian story of Jesus, because there's so many different Jesus stories in history that belong to many different groups of people. You know, Jesus, as you know it, is not just the only story like that. There are hundreds of other stories with the same type of events happening in different ways, shapes, and forms, right? That's just one that is more popularized than the others. However, I'm not going to say that I don't think that particular type of story didn't happen. It may not have been a person named Jesus specifically, but the context of the story, I definitely believe. I do believe that there was someone, don't know if it was a man or a woman, who knows, I definitely know that there was someone who came here, not just one person, but this is just one story that's highlighted. A person who came and started to perform what they would deem miracles, but they were just operating in their spiritual power. And them motherfuckers got mad and they felt some type of way about it, and they came to wake them up. Say, hey, look, y'all don't gotta be doing all this religious shit. We is not religious. That's why they call it Christ consciousness, right? We not religious. Hey, listen, come here. Let me show you something. Hand me that water. Let me show you something. And he did some shit and poured it out, and that shit was wine. And people was like, hold up, what the fuck? Did y'all see that? That nigga just turned the motherfucking water into wine. I mean, if he came down now, he probably turned the water into Casamigos or something, you know. Turn that shit into some Azul or something. You know, niggas. They don't want wine nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Wine would have got me back in the day, though. You turn some shit into some red wine. I love me a red wine. I'm like, hold up, Jesus. Where you going after this? Not teleport. Little Jose Cuervo. Hell yeah. Give me a little piece of that. What you doing after this? Little, yeah, let me get a little shit. What else can you change? I got some shit at home you could change. Jesus, what you doing later? Well, Don Julio, Actor Julio. Little Patron, El Patron. I'm trying to tell you, he would have got me. Shit, my nigga be turning water into Casamigos. Come on, bring him to the party. Bring him with you. Okay, girl, I gotta see. He busy. He gotta go wake somebody up from the dead or whatever tonight. But I'm gonna see if he free after that. You know what I'm saying? I see if he down. You know. Listen. Couldn't have been no 2025 Jesus. Would have had him on TikTok doing the hips. Listen, I would have been all in his live comments. Period, Jesus, period. And that's on Heavenly Father. What? Would have to snatch him up. Would have to snatch him up. I just know he was fine. I just know he was fine. The way they describe him, I know he was fine. I know he was just tall and fine. I just know it. He had to be. I play all day, I know. That's my problem. That's why they be mad at me. But I know he was, shit. You can't convince me he wasn't a looker. Hello? I'm just saying. He said, I will wash his feet. Y'all are dumb. She said, I'll wash his feet, shit. Give me them feet. Put a little Vaseline on it. I'll massage it for you. Papa, you had a long day. Y'all silly. Y'all can't talk about me because y'all be on one in these fucking comments. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all are fucking funny, bruh. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Hell nah. But that's how a lot of Christians, again, that's why they get uncomfortable in these types of conversations. Because a lot of the things that a lot of the points that we make, you can't turn around and deny those points. You can't act like it don't make sense. So that's why they be so mean. Because instead of them being like, you got a point, you know, let me go think about that. Let me go research, you know, let me question that a little bit, you know, whatever. They get snappy, they get mean, they get nasty, they get hateful, they get judgmental. You know what I'm saying? Because they internally, first of all, every Christian I know has doubt. They all have doubt. Don't none of them believe 100% none of that shit. I don't give a fuck how many times they try to lie, act like they just believe that shit wholeheartedly. No, the fuck they don't. They all have doubt. Okay? Thank you, my love. They all got a little piece of doubt in there. They don't want to admit it, but they all got a little piece of doubt. That's why it's a requirement of religion to have faith. Faith is the absence of proof. It's the absence of information. Because if you had the information, you didn't need to have no damn faith. I don't have faith that I'm black. I know that I'm black. I can see me being black. Well, I'm going to say copper. I can see me being copper. So I don't have to have faith that I'm a copper colored melanated being. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have faith in that. It's a fact. Facts don't require faith. Period. So the fact that that whole belief system is based on faith tells you enough about it. I don't gotta have faith in nothing that is in front of me. You know? Thank you, my love. As I say, faith is the belief in things not seen, not heard. Right? It means I'm pushing myself to believe in something. Because belief also means that you don't know it. If I believe something, that means I know a little bit, but I don't know all of it. Because if I knew it, I wouldn't have to believe. I would just know. I don't believe that I'm copper. I know that I'm copper. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that I have on purple outliner and lip gloss. I know that I have on purple outliner and lip gloss. I don't need to believe that. I don't need to have faith in that. Right? So to have belief, to have faith, means that you're operating in the unknown. You're not secured. Because if you were secured, you would know. I know that 1 + 1 = 2. I don't believe that 1 + 1 = 2. I don't have faith that 1 + 1 = 2. I know that. I can put up 1 and 1, put it together, 1, 2. That doesn't require belief. That doesn't require faith. That's just a known fact. Right? So they're operating in something that is not guaranteed. And that's why they so fucking on the fence and so all the time, because it's not guaranteed. None of us have a knowing of what happens to us when we leave here. Nobody does, because you're made to forget. We have ideas, we have beliefs, right? We have faith that certain things may happen, but we don't know. We don't know what happens until we leave. And that's it. You know? Even the people who have died and came back to life and they got all these stories, they still don't know what happens when you leave, because y'all didn't technically leave. If you came back, you didn't leave, because once you're gone, baby. You can't come back. Thank you, Bruce. Once you're out of here, you're out of here. So them people that be like, oh, I died and I seen Jesus. And I seen this person and okay. That's not a guarantee of anything, because you still here. Once that silver cord is cut, it's cut permanently. You can't come back here. You're done. The body starts to decompose and the soul goes and does whatever the soul does. That's the only facts that we got. Everything else is left up to speculation. Everything else is left up to belief. Everything else is left up to faith, based on your belief. Right? That's all we have. So it's for anybody to sit here and act like they got all the answers of what's going to happen, and especially when we leave here. Oh, you're going to go to this place and then you're going to get judged. And then if you did good, then you're going to go to this place. But if you did bad, you're going to go to this place. by the way, this place looks like this, and it looks like that, and it looks like this, and it looks like that. How the fuck you know what hell look like? First of all, if you're going by the Bible says that hell hasn't even been created yet. It says it's going to be created when Jesus come back. I ain't seen Jesus. So I said that shit before. I said, well, damn, is it a waiting room? Are the people standing outside like it's a club? Like, are they lined up at hell's gates just waiting for it to open, the grand opening? Hell coming soon. That ain't make sense. Where all these people going? Where's all these souls going? You know what I'm saying? When they talk about hell, they're talking about here. This realm is considered hell. You have this realm, and then you have Hades. Hades is the final realm, the lowest realm that you can go to, the lowest dimension, called a Hades. That's where they got the concept of hell from. We have dimensions and realms. Yes, it's also representative of your lower self. Absolutely. That's why if you really read that Bible, Jesus and Satan, it's a little touchy, but they the same person. It's the same person. Really get into it. It's the same person, acting either out of ego or acting out of higher self. Same energy. If you get into etymology, Lucifer means the light bringer. How was somebody evil with the name light? Something is off with that. The light bringer is evil? Okay. I mean, all right. Sure. I guess. Shit don't be making sense. But we are of darkness. We come from darkness. Everything starts off in darkness. Nothing starts off in light. Everything starts off in darkness. So a part of spirituality is also learning how to embrace your darkness and understanding that darkness is not evil. Darkness doesn't mean negative. It doesn't mean evil. It's just a part of who we are. We are chaos beings, and not in a negative way, but in a way as we are fighters. We are innovators. We are creators, and everything is created from friction, aka chaos. Ain't shit made from flowers and lily pads. No, it's made from chaos. It's made from friction. Two things coming together. You know what I'm saying? When you were in your mother's womb and your body is being developed, it is friction. It is chaotic. Your bones and your cells morphing and growing. That's chaotic energy. Ain't nothing about that, sunflowers and honey. Even your birth is chaotic energy. You coming into this realm is chaotic energy. The making of a baby is chaotic energy. I don't care if you pump it slow and soft. It don't matter. It's chaos going on. I don't give a damn. You can call it making love all you goddamn want. It's chaos. It's friction. It's rubbing together. It is what it is. Creation has never been just beautiful and, it's just fairy tales and gumdrops. Nah, creation has always been, you gotta get your hands a little dirty. Rub some things together. You know what I'm saying? Cause some friction. Even when we are changing, when we are elevating, when we are growing, it requires friction. When a seed is being when a seed is growing and the contents of the seed is about to push through the shell of the seed, that requires force. That requires force. It can't happen with it being soft and nice. Germinated, thank you. That requires force. Lots of force for that piece of plant or fruit or whatever to push through that seed shell. If you ever seen a chicken hatch out of an egg, or a snake hatch from an egg, or an alligator hatch from an egg, or anything hatch from an egg, that shit ain't pretty. They gotta break through that motherfucker. It requires force. So we have to get comfortable with being chaotic. And it don't mean that you be negative. Those are two different things. And sometimes you gotta be negative too. Or what people would deem negative, sometimes you gotta go that way too, depending on what the fuck going on. But you gotta be okay with your, that's why we call it the dark side of you. You know what I'm saying? Darkness ain't evil. That's what they try to convince us. Darkness is not evil. The true you dwells in the dark. The only parts of you that go into the light are the parts of you that you want to share. The true you dwells in the dark. So that's why we call it shadow work. When you working on you and you coming into contact with your real self, you got to go to the dark. You got to go to the shadow. You got to get cool with that shadow. You can't do shit without that shadow, baby. It's not going to fucking work. You ignore that shadow long enough, you're going to be fucked up out here. You got to get in tune with that damn shadow. You got to accept yourself for who you are, at the core of who you are. Thank you, my love. And the only way you can do that is to get in tune with that fucking shadow. The real you, showing up the way that you fucking are, how you are. And we're in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is all about originality. So this is the perfect time for you to really understand who you are. At the core of your energy. Who you were created to be. When you developed into a smaller fraction of energy, who is the identity? What is the identity of that energy? What are you here to do? Are you here to shake some shit up? Are you here to invoke thought? Are you here to, you know what I'm saying, power through the bloodline? What are you here to do? It could be all of those things in one. You know what I'm saying? We all here for something. And you have to understand what the fuck you here for. So you can start tapping into it and getting the job done. Yes, every flower has to go through the dirt before it blooms. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. And that dirt has purpose. We talked about how pressure has purpose when we were talking about diamonds. Diamonds are beautiful. Diamonds are high priced. Diamonds have always been and will always be, you know, a staple of luxury. But the process that a diamond has to go through before it gets there, the process that motherfucker got to go through, the amount of pressure that it has to take before it gets to that place of being valuable, that's how you got to think of yourself. You got to go through that pressure before you can become valuable. You're not valuable without no pressure. You're not valuable without no challenges. You're not valuable without any type of friction, chaos. You have no value. What are we gonna do with you? Can't do nothing with you. We're always transforming. Because the pressure allows you to, number one, learn. It allows you to conform yourself in ways that are appropriate for your life purpose or your destiny. Without that pressure, I'm never going to be able to crack to the nucleus. Got to get to the center. Got to go through all of those different layers, all those different traumas, all those different experiences. I got to go through all of society's ideologies and the things that they put on me, and the curses, the generational curses, the mental limitations that I have. That requires pressure. That requires challenges. That requires tests. Without those things, I'm never going to be able to truly figure out who I am. Thank you guys for the gifts. I'm not going to be able to break through and figure out who the fuck I am if I'm not going through those experiences. So a lot of people, you get upset because you're going through certain things. You get upset because, you're being pushed in a certain way, or you're being pressured in a certain way, or you're being pushed out of your comfort zone. Thank you, Bruce. Or, a lot of people get upset and they take it personal. Baby, you gotta have that. Without that, you ain't shit. Because you're not going to be able to tap into who you truly are. Thank you, Agent. You're not going to be able to tap into who you truly are without those things. Without that happening to you. Imagine a life with no type of challenge. And we're not talking about challenges just like, harsh traumas. I mean, simple things like somebody rejecting you. Somebody saying no. Right? Simple things like your own mentality. Depression, anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Simple stuff. We don't even have to include all the traumas right now. That's a whole nother conversation. But just the simple things. Like a child who doesn't come out the womb knowing how to walk. That's a challenge for a child. One of the first challenges that we all experience. How the fuck are they walking around like that? You just sitting there as a kid. You don't even realize that this is what you're doing. But babies will be looking at you. They be like, how the fuck? Alright, I see their legs. They don't even know it's legs. Whatever them things are, they standing on it. That's why babies will look at you, and then they look at themselves, and then they look at you, and then they look at themselves, and they look at your hand, and then they look at their hand, and then they look at your hair, and then they look at their hair, and then they look at your nose, and they look at their nose. So they're trying to say, okay, you got what I got. How the fuck is you moving it like that? How is you controlling it like that? How is you making it do the things that you're making it do? One of the most spectacular things to witness is a baby getting up and walking. Because you don't necessarily have to teach a baby how to walk for it to walk. They looking at you so motherfucking much, they studying that shit. They start crawling at first because they figuring out how this shit work. Okay, if I want to get from this side of the room to that side of the room, then I need to move these damn, whatever the fuck these are. They don't know what it's called. I need to move these motherfuckers. So they'll crawl, they'll scoop across the floor, whatever the fuck they need to do at first because they're learning. They're being challenged. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen a baby just butt scoop? My goddaughter used to do that shit. She had one leg behind her, and she'd just be like, just scooting across the motherfucker. I'm like, shh. You gotta do something different, because you looking a little off doing that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, we gotta get you walking. Baby, they'll scoot, and then one day they'll grab on or something, and they'll start trying to pull their body weight up. The first couple times they do that shit, they don't got the muscle strength. Because they not used to fucking walking. You've been carrying their ass for however fucking long. Some kids do it before others, right? But they try to stand up on something. Use something to stand the fuck up. They might fall. You know what I'm saying? Y'all put pillows around them so they don't hit their damn head and shit. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit. Then all of a sudden one day, they holding on to something, but they stand up. Then they hit that little bounce dance. You know, babies all do the little bounce dance. They hold on to something and just start doing a little bounce. They all hit the little, you know. Then they start trying to let go of that motherfucker. and take a couple steps. And eventually, the motherfuckers will get up and walk across the room, and you be like, what the fuck? I mean, that is the most amazing shit I've ever seen to date. Especially a baby that you just seen pop out of coochie and rely on you for every goddamn thing, and then all of a sudden this little motherfucker is walking. Like, what do you mean you're walking? What the fuck? I've been carrying this little fat, juicy little motherfucker around all the time. And just one foot in front of the other, just walking. That shit is amazing. Then once the motherfuckers start walking, they start running. And you're like, what the fuck? Now you're chasing a fucking 1-year-old around the damn house. Or through a store. Like, look, now. I know you're using your new legs and shit. Calm the fuck down. Then they running everywhere. Then you chasing their ass. Child. Then there's the next challenge. They be fast as hell, don't they? I'm like, where the fuck did this? You just learned how to do this shit a couple weeks ago. How was you so fucking fast? They strong as shit. That's how you know babies come from the astral realm. Cause why are you picking up a whole fucking baby chair? Just 11 months, just picking up a whole motherfucking. I said, who little fucking Hercules ass baby is this? My goddaughter at I think she had to be all of 10 months, 11 months. I mean, picked up a whole jug of water. I said, what in the... Was your mama on that stuff? I might have asked her mama, was you on that stuff? This baby got crackhead strap. Would you take a little something on the side? That baby just picked up a whole goddamn water jug. And I mean, they had you questioning just basic things. Like, what the fuck? Man, I'm trying to tell you. So challenges start for us early. It's a part of our development. It just go hand in hand. It's a part of our development. That's how it goes. And the more familiar you get with being challenged, the more accepting of challenges you are. This doesn't mean that you gotta like it. You know what I'm saying? Because some challenges suck ass. Some shit is fucking annoying. And I think that's a misconception, of this journey, is that everything that happens, you gotta like it. You gotta like it. You gotta be okay with it. You gotta have a smile on your face. Fuck no. You can complain. You can get mad. You can get exhausted. You can get irritated. You can get annoyed. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. You don't gotta have no smile on your face 24/7. That's not realistic. But when I say you start to accept the challenges for what they are, it means that you don't try to work against it. You don't try to fight it. You just go through the process. Let the process be what it's gonna be. If you gotta scream your way through it, scream your way through it. Thank you, my love. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta be mad, be mad. If you gotta be sad, be sad. If you gotta cry, cry. Whatever you need to do. As long as you getting through it and you keeping your feet moving, I don't give a fuck what you do. As long as them feet is steady moving, I don't care what you gotta do. And be frustrated as fuck when they trying and can't quite get it yet. It's very frustrating. This shit is irritating. Y'all know we don't play all that lily pads and floral arrangements bullshit over here. Fuck no. Sometimes that shit suck ass. You be like, you know what, spirit? Fuck all this. Okay? Put me back to sleep. I had them conversations at least once a week with my spirit team. Go ahead, just knock me back out. Fuck all that. I don't want to see nothing else. I'm tired of being woke. Fuck being woke. I don't want to be woke no more. It's nap time. Put Poca back to sleep. Just let me go back to believing in fucking fairies and ladybugs. I don't want this shit no more. I'm tired of seeing all of everything for what it is. I don't want to see it for what it is no more. I'm tired of seeing everybody for who they are. Let me just ignore it and do it for the plot. I just met this person. You telling me already I gotta see that they fucked up? I don't want to see it. Thank you, my love. I don't want to see it. I've been wanting to do this. I don't want to. But then you make it through that process. You stay consistent and you make it through that process. And then you be happy as hell. Then you be proud of the fact that you can see. Then you take pride in the fact that, you know what I'm saying, your eyes are not closed. Thank you, Corey. You know what I'm saying? You get proud. Like, yeah. I can see that bullshit coming from a mile away. I can see that bullshit coming from a mile away. I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to avoid that person. I'm going to say no to this. I'm not even going to go over there. Thank you, Bruce. Fuck that. Fuck them. No, thank you. Be proud. That's why I always say, this is a journey. It's a journey. It's a process. And there's so many different twists and turns and ups and downs that come with this process. But it's always worth it. That's one thing about it. It's never not worth it. It's always worth it. Always fucking worth it. And you just have to remember to continue to keep moving so that you can see how worth it is. Because it's going to be worth it. But you won't see that if you stop before you get to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? This shit is not no cakewalk. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. I tell that all the time. I don't want to play with you. I'm not one of them spiritualists that's going to be like, oh, we're in the 5D and it's so amazing. And you can just tell yourself what you want it to be. And then it's just going to be no problems and issues. And you're just going to be so happy. And everything's just going to be so magical. Fuck no. This shit hard as fuck. You ain't going to do nothing ever in your life that's harder than being on your motherfucking journey. I don't care. Never, ever, ever. Nothing will be easier than this. Or harder than this. Nothing. Because you facing yourself. And that's the hardest motherfucking opponent you'll ever have. You can't outrun that motherfucker. You can't leave that motherfucker behind. You can't run away from him. You glued to yourself 24/7, 365. Facing yourself. Unlearning the things that not only you've learned in this lifetime, but the things you picked up in other lifetimes. Thank you, Corey. You facing all of these things at once. And then motherfucker come talking about something. Put a smile on your face. Bitch. Ooh. Why don't you smile? You too pretty not to smile. You too handsome not to smile. Do you not know I'm hot enough to knock your ass out right now? If you don't get the fuck out my face with that bullshit. That's why isolation is needed. Because you'll be ready to wring somebody's neck. What's the fact on the Snapple cap? Baby, I don't know. It don't say. It's on the inside. Oh, hold on. A flock of crows is known as a murder. Real fact. 1407. There you go. Snapple facts. Y'all are silly. But yeah, isolation is so necessary because it gives you time to just be. It gives you time to exist. It gives you time to think. It gives you time to recalibrate. It gives you time to be a victim because sometimes you need to be a victim for a little minute. I'm not against victim mentality. It just can't last. Sometimes you need to sit there and fold your arms and throw a pity party. I'm mad. I'm upset. Woe was me. That hurt my feelings. Why they hating on me? Back then they didn't want me. Now how they all on me? Sometimes you need that moment. As long as it's a moment. That's the thing. As long as it's a fucking moment. We be turning moments into year processes, weekly things, daily no. It need to be a moment. You can be a victim for a moment, and then you need to wake the fuck up and do what you need to do. But it's okay to have a little victim moment. I like to set me a little timer, or I give myself like an hour or two. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna spend these 2 hours just being a victim and complaining and crying. Because you gotta get that shit out your system. When you ignore it, it builds up. Thank you, Corey. It builds up. You don't want it to build up. Thank you, my love. I'm glad that you think so. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that shit to build up. You want to get it out your system. You want to honor your feelings, right? Because a lot of us have been conditioned to just tuck shit down deep. Don't tuck that shit down deep. Acknowledge it. I'm mad as hell. This shit is not fair. I feel like this is fucked up. Thank you, Bruce. This is sad. I'm sad. I'm mad. I'm glad. I'm happy. I want to cry. I want to scream. Whatever you feel, you got to acknowledge it at all times. So that you don't start layering shit. And then you want to explode eventually. We don't got time for that. That's working backwards. Acknowledge how you feel in the moment, at that moment. Whether it's in the safety of your own energy, which it should be at least 95% of the time, right? Or whether it's around the people that you trust. The people who have been sent on your journey to be your support system. Because Spirit will send you support. But you got to be ready for support. Meaning you got to be good enough within yourself before you can get a support system. Because your support system is going to need you too. And if you can't even take care of yourself, why the fuck would I send you some people that you may have to take care of sometimes? You know what I'm saying? It can't just be a one-way street and they just come into your defense and coming to support you. That's why a lot of y'all haven't attracted your spiritual, your soul tribe yet. Because you're not good enough to take care of yourself. So Spirit not going to allow them people to come into your space and then you can't take care of them. That's not fair. It's not going to be no one-sided thing. That's not fair to them. Even with a life partner, with relationships. Why would I bring somebody into your life that's going to show up for you or be there for you and you not there for you? You don't know how to manage your emotions. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to navigate the problems in your life. Every time something happens, you got to pick up the phone and call some damn body. You know what I'm saying? You're not utilizing your intuition. You're not utilizing your spirit team. You're not trusting yourself. You're not being divinely guided. Thank you for the gifts. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing none of this shit. But then you want a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a best friend or a sister. For fucking what? You know what I'm saying? For what? So you can manipulate them and use them up. Every relationship is an exchange of energy. So if you don't got nothing to exchange, what the fuck is we doing? It's a bartering system. I give you some, you give me some. Like I tell you all the time, we're here to be used but not misused. You gotta have something to offer. Just as well as you're taking, you got your hand out. It should be a revolving door. You give some, I give some. You give some, I give some. That way, none of us is going without anything. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them not ready, sis. A lot of them are not ready. And that's why you are being called right now into isolation. A lot of y'all being called into isolation for this exact reason. Spirit knows that you want these people. Spirit knows that you want these relationships. Spirit knows that you want this stuff. They know that you're lonely. They know that you feel alone. They understand that. But they're not going to sacrifice somebody else's safety because you don't want to do the work. Thank you, Corey. They're not going to do that. They're not going to sacrifice somebody else's feelings and time and energy because you don't want to do the work. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? That's not fair. You've been in isolation for 5 months. Listen, as long as it takes. I was in isolation at one point for 2 years. I wasn't good for nobody. I wasn't good for nobody. And when I say isolation, I don't mean that I didn't talk to anybody at all. My conversations were very limited. You know what I'm saying? My interactions with people was very limited. Thank you, my love. Definitely tune in again. You know what I'm saying? Very limited. And I had to just be engulfed in my own energy so I can see how toxic it was. It's like if you go into a gas chamber. You locked into that thing. Ain't no outside air coming in. And it's just whatever fuck is in there is in there. And I had to choke on my own toxicity before I realized how fucking toxic it was. Because when we got other people around, you don't really see that the call is coming from inside the house. You can be like, oh, it's this person's fault. Oh, it's that person's fault. Oh, it's because of this. If they wouldn't have said this to me, then I wouldn't have did this. If they wouldn't have did this to me, then I wouldn't have did this. Oh, it's this. It's because of them. Oh, it's because of this. You can just point the finger. That responsibility just be bouncing off of person to person to person to person to person. But when it's just you in your own space, you can't blame nobody for nothing. Because how the fuck is it they fault? They're not even here. You can't point the finger at nobody because ain't nobody to point the finger at. That's when that mirror get real close to your face. You're like, oh my God, is that me? Oh my God. Is that me? Ooh. Golly. Y'all mean to tell me I was just walking around acting like this the whole time? You mean to tell me I was just... This how I was looking the whole time? Ooh. And there's some shame that come with that. When you first wake up to who you truly are, baby, you be shamed. You be feeling so shamed, like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, I'm speechless. You be like, ugh. You start thinking back on shit that you used to do and things that you've done and ways that you showed up, and you can finally see it from the correct perspective. You're like, oh my God. That person was right when they said I had an attitude problem. That person was right when they called me toxic. I was wrong in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I did move the wrong way over there. Thank you, Corey. Damn. That's when that accountability started taking hold. And once you start taking accountability, that shit is like a love-hate relationship. Because it don't feel good at first until after you start processing it. And then it feels amazing to be accountable. It feels amazing to be accountable once you get into it. Now, when you first faced with that accountability, you like, this don't feel too good. I'm not liking this too much. How can I get out of this? Once you accept it and you start going through the process, you realize accountability is a way for me to better myself. The more accountable I am, the more changes I can make to myself. You know what I'm saying? The more I show up and take responsibility for my part. Because shadow work will teach you, you can't control other people. You can only control yourself. So when you control yourself, and you do what you need to do for yourself, your life will change. I can't make my mama be who I want my mama to be. I can't make my sister be who I want my sister to be. I can't make my brother be who I want them to be. I can't make my daddy be who I want them to be. I can only be me. I can only change myself. If I don't like something about me, I can change it. If I don't like the people that I'm attracting, I can change it. If I don't like the environments that I'm in, I can change it. If I don't like the way that I'm talking, I can change it. If I don't like the way that I'm living, I can change it. If I don't like the way that I'm moving, I can change it. Anything dealing with me, I can change it. Yes, Bruce, you could be an admin. You know what I'm saying? Anything dealing with me, I can change it. I can do something about it. I can alter it. And through me altering myself in the different ways that I do, I alter my life. It automatically has to change. You know what I'm saying? It automatically has to change. It don't fucking matter. I appreciate you, Bruce. That's the beauty of this journey. And there's always light at the end of that tunnel. When you first come into this shit, oh baby, it's a tunnel. Woo, it's a tunnel. Woo, it's a tunnel. It's dark in that motherfucker. Do you hear me? That light seems so far in the distance. Sometimes you can't even see the light. It's just dark as hell. You're like, what the fuck is going on? But you start doing that work. And you start saying, oh, there is light at the end of this tunnel. Oh, I will make it out of this. Or I will get to the other side. All right. Final questions, comments, and concerns before we close out for the day. Thank you, Bruce. Shout out to you. Shout out to my top gifters. All of those who's gifted. I don't know why on TikTok it don't show me who the top gifters are, but if you gifted at all on TikTok, shout out to you. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Bruce. Shout out to 7-4, Silent Mystery, The Chosen Art, Key, I Am Frankie, Sheikah, 425, Baltimore, and Louie. Shout out to y'all. Anything for Aquarius? Aquarius, we in the age of Aquarius, so everything will affect y'all in some type of way, shape, or form. Y'all gonna be affected regardless in some type of way, shape, or form. Honestly, for the rest of your particular lifetime, because we're gonna be in Aquarius at least for the rest of our lifetime. You know, I'm not gonna get into specific signs right now because I'll be on here all day. Because I know y'all gonna be like, this sign next, this sign next. Poker tied. Poker not doing all that. But tune in on Monday. Monday's lesson, we're going to break down the similarities between Christianity and spirituality, particularly hoodoo. So definitely tune in for that. Tomorrow we will do, I think I'm going to do a reading for each sign tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow for that. Excuse me, if you want specifics. I haven't done that in a minute. So we'll do equinox readings for each sign, each zodiac sign. We'll do that tomorrow. Oh, that was nasty, my bad. I hate when we about to close out. I know. But all good things have to come to an end. I'll be on here around 4:30-ish, 4:45-ish. I'm going to try to get in and get out because it's supposed to feel good tomorrow. So I want to get y'all these messages and then let you enjoy the rest of your day. Eastern Standard Time, that is. Make sure that y'all follow me so you get my live notifications. Thank you, Corey. And yeah, 2025 energy readings are available on the website. If anybody wants to book that, it is available. Also, Spring Equinox Mentorships is still available as well. Mentorships are available. Consultation sessions are available. Counseling sessions are available. Other readings are available. Books, literature is also available on the website. Anything I'm missing? This will be posted on YouTube tomorrow. It'll go live tomorrow, probably around like 8-ish. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, PocaSPEAKS on YouTube, or you can click the link in my bio on TikTok. I don't think I have it linked in my bio on Big O, but it's PocaSPEAKS. So you can go there. Make sure you subscribe so that you can see when it goes live. Alright? Love and light. I will see you guys tomorrow. Again, we're going to get in and out tomorrow, so definitely make sure that you pop in on time. Like I said, I'll be starting closer to 4:30, 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we can get in and get out. And then that live for tomorrow will be posted Saturday for those who want to watch it later on or want to rewatch it. Okay? Have a fantastic rest of your night. I hope that y'all got some vitamin D. If you didn't, make sure you get some tomorrow. Go back and watch the lesson that we did yesterday as well. That's already uploaded on YouTube. No, we did a reading yesterday. So the lesson was Tuesday. So go back and watch the reading from yesterday and the lesson that we did Tuesday. All right? Peace.